What's good, everybody? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Now, before I throw that Cash App out there that most of you already know, I want to apologize to Mrs. Mack. That is actually Lori, who has been supporting me since yesterday. So I wanted to sit here and give you a public apology for me not supporting you out on the rip and let you know that I guarantee that I will catch any topic that you bring out and I'll deliver it right away. Thank you for everything. Everybody else hit that Cash App and show respect. Lori's been doing her thing and she actually has been supporting me steadily. So I have nothing wrong to say about her. I just want to say shout to Miss Mac. She's hooked me up. She's been there supporting the channel and we're even closer to the goal. And I take all of that into consideration. So everybody else watching, support the Cash App. $, capital THE, capital CCARR. Support the channel. Lori's actually held it down. So I'm actually about to go into another topic, regardless if it has to do with the Tekashi69 series we're in. We'll talk about whatever artist that comes up in your question, and we'll talk about it gradually without a problem. Here's what Lori wanted to know. She talked about specifically Tekashi's manager, Shotti. Now, I've never done a video, or when I did, it was mentioning Tr3yway, but let's briefly talk about Shotti. Shotti is an individual that's grown up hard. He's been through rough situations, and he actually has connections with his roots on the West Coast. So that's a very important thing to understand. So when you mention Bloods, his connections are deeper than anything Tekashi brings to the table. So understand, most of Tekashi's power comes through Shotti. If there's been beef and it's been settled, it's been through Shotti. If there's been someone throwing threats, it's been settled through Shotti. That's to understand on the basis. So you get, when Tr3yway is said, it has power. It's a movement because it started through other individuals. Shotti's a member, but he's still an original member. So you got to get, Tekashi was basically grandfathered in through Shotti. So him making moves and screaming blood ain't happening without Shotti. So when you talk about dropping his manager, you're talking about him dropping everything he's built to be his character coming into the game. Now here's why I would say that he won't last long. The only reason I would say his long lasting would be cut short is if any disrespect or disregard for what Shotti means in the fold of his business. Because here's something you got to get. That yes, he could scream Tr3yway. Yes, he could sit there and act like a blood. But without Shotti's cosign, he's not truly it. Because the manager helps to dictate the moves you make. Up until his own personal moves, Shotti had him moving smooth. But he can't control 6ix9ine's mouth when he's not around. So if he's not there, he can't give him tips on what to do. He can only respond to what the response and reaction to Tekashi is. So do I think his manager's holding him down? No. I think, honestly, his manager's the only thing not only keeping him mentally relevant, but helping him to progress in the game without getting snubbed out, to be honest with you. Now, as far as your mention to the robbery and stuff, I don't have evidence behind that. I just have theories. But let's say Shotti was involved. It could have been a wake-up call to his guy, like, look, you're not invincible. I got you moving out here. Although I don't see the benefit for Shotti to do that. Now, as far as you mentioning the baby mother in the case of it, I have another theory on the side of it of why that would be irrelevant. But it's almost a crazy theory. But at the same time, that's why I'm going to have a private Patreon coming out where you guys can give to Patreon, and I'm able to download content with crazy theories and things that would get even more interesting when I'm talking about my reasoning behind why I think things and why I deliver things in that manner. There's many different aspects and perspectives to Tekashi and other artists in the game you have to understand to get the basis for why I think things. So that would be something I would deliver in multiple levels so that you're able to get a general consensus for why I believe things and my thoughts surrounding certain artists are delivered. Now, again, back to Shotti, you got to understand, he's going to be a superstar without Tekashi because of his management profile and how he's helped Tekashi grow in the game. That's always going to be. Regardless whether Tekashi's still there or not, Shotti's going to have a spot because other artists are going to see how he can profoundly provide not only relations, but networking and protection that's vital to their growth. There's many different aspects that come to a manager, and Shotti has a lot of aspects other managers don't. And you'll see that in the way Tekashi moves, how he's able to settle beefs and he does it live, and the sort of respect that he flies in when he's traveling to these different places. Like, he's able to link up with prominent people, even if they're not known, they're prominent in the land of claiming to be a blood or saying that he's a Trey this, a Trey that. He still gets respect. That's the bottom line. If you're moving in a gang and you're not getting respect, it doesn't matter what gang you're in. Respect is the overall viewpoint. If you don't get respect, you're not really with a gang. If you got other gangsters disrespecting you off of presence, then you don't have the pull. You should know someone in the area, and that's what Shotti has provided for Tekashi. Has he taken it for granted? Sometimes. But still, he's young. Tekashi's young, so his mind's not wrapped around the way this stuff works. Now, as far as the YG thing, I don't know what the situation is with that, because YG is a boss in his own right from where he's from. Now, I think Shotti should be able to get some leeway and get respect for Tekashi in that sense, but we'll see in the long run how that plays out, because that beef is not settled yet. But we have seen that things were settled with the game, but then networking, the manager of the game took shots at Tekashi, and we seen that he even took threats at Tekashi, and that was never checked. But again, moving with Shotti, I don't think Tekashi has too much to worry about, because if that did become an issue, we'd see Shotti address it, and he wouldn't address it live. You got to understand that. He's a real guy moving. So that's why I keep telling you guys and giving you the 411, you guys got to listen to what I say. Tr3yway is a movement. You don't know who's part of Tr3yway. And hold on real quick, because you know, he's wearing women's shades. He's trying to buy a girl's shades. What's wrong with him? He had on them glamour shades you see Miley Cyrus wear. Yeah, that's the new style, trucker. So here's my thing. You got to understand there's many different aspects to how you understand how business is done. There's many different viewpoints. There's a lot of different actions that need to be taken, and every reaction is the action. Remember, I told you that. It's not about your act, it's how you react to a situation that'll define the outcome and define your respect. Now, Tekashi's reactions have been very bad. That's how I can tell he wasn't linking up with the right people. So you got to look at Shotti for Shotti and not like Tekashi for Shotti. The manager only controls the artist to a certain length. If you watched all of Shotti's videos, you see he checked Tekashi a few times. Even to one time, he was like, the only thing you say is Tr3yway in this video. So what's your answer to these guys? And he's like, I'm going to speak for him. Say it. Tr3yway. Tr3yway. That was a very, let's say, symbolic show that you need to listen to me. You need to stop talking out your neck, talking out your rear, and you need to listen to what I'm telling you. I'm the official one. Yeah, you're the star, but see, the thing is about any man or boy trying to become a man or young man, it's pride. Your pride can quickly take you out in this game, especially when it's dealing with live conversation, beef, debating, some type of instance where you encounter another artist. Your reaction is going to detail your future. And now with the current prison situation in lieu of judgment, hold on, we got another banger coming. Okay. And in lieu of your situation, how you're trying to react to a situation, it's going to determine whether you're going to get respect in the long run. These things quickly, help you to dictate the longevity of a great artist from just a good artist. We don't have one-hit wonder artists anymore because people make one-hit wonders that hit the billboard. They can make single after single after single, but making a compilation of music that provides a long living career is rare. So we don't get the Jay-Z's nowadays or the Drakes nowadays. So that's my point. If you're not an artist that learns to focus on these vital factors, your longevity is going to be cut short. And if that's going to be the name of your game, some artists will settle for that and settle for making platinum hits because the money. But they won't look at the fact that I'm not trying to just splurge on these chains for now. I'm trying to splurge on these chains 20 years from now. And that dictates a great artist from a good artist. But as you learn, the Jay-Z's of the game, the chains don't mean anything. You know what I mean? It turns out not meaning anything. And you see that these artists learn that building a brand, building a business is everything. But from what I see, Shotti's done everything to put him in a position to make these choices. Excuse me, like when you're throwing up money and you're videotaping it, all of that money could be used towards a business, but you rather throw it up and brag about it. So what does the manager do? I can't control what he does with the money, so I can control the choices he makes in the current. So that's why he gets the chain back for him, or he'll squash the beef live. He'll do things for notoriety to show I'm behind my artist. That's all you can do. I'm pretty sure they have detailed conversations behind the scenes that may not be pretty, but he does what needs to be done to support his artist at that time. As a manager, that's all you can do when they keep doing dumb stuff. You can't do anything else. All I can do is say, look, we need to do this. You're like, nah, we're going to do that. Fine. I support you in that because you my homie and I'm your manager, but I do not think this is the best decision. So you got to get, there's many different factors that incur to certain pathways we see that Tekashi takes. But one thing we can respect Shotti for is that he follows his artist to the bitter end. And he still develops himself through other artistry. So that's something that we can give Shotti. I don't think he's the fault for Tekashi. Tekashi makes choices. He decides whether or not to back it in certain ways. But we do see in the future that he's going to have Tekashi's back, so we can only see what choices Tekashi makes. That's all. You know you rocking with All Rights Reserved.